I think it's an important one for us to realise what we are saying, and it often goes back to ourselves as well. So I guess the message for everyone today is think about the words that you are saying today. Think about the words that you are saying through the week. Are they a reflection of what's going on with you, or of the other person that you're giving the advice to, or they really are a reflection about what's going on in your life?
Yeah, and we often say it here every Sunday that a lot of the advice that we give, it's actually very good for us, to say things out loud and go, oh, okay, fascinating, So it's we talk about it very openly, that the advice that we share quite often is the advice that we need to hear as well.
Tony says, Luke, not today. What was that about?
Oh, not about the negative stuff. Not today.
Oh, not today. Yeah.
Good on you, Tony. Good on you, mate. Let's shut that down.
It actually just went straight out of my mind straight away.
Shut that down.
That's easy. It ebbs and flows through my mind. Like, I'll just move on to the next one.
Shut it down permanently. Yeah. So, good on you, Tony. Keep it up. I love it. Fantastic.
I really need a coffee.
Yeah. Wonder how the other Facebook Live's going.
I know.
Anyway, we'll deal with that shortly.
I've got a couple of cousins that are going to be very angry and upset with me afterwards.
How are you going to receive that advice?
I'll just take it on board. Zero fucks. Zero fucks, boys.
I love it. Very, very good.
Third topic we want to talk about is be careful about what you're saying, because your mind is actually listening. So not only thinking and being aware of the advice that you're actually giving out as a reflection of yourself, but what is that going to be taking on in another week, another month, another year? Those thoughts and feelings about and advice that you're giving, or the words that you're saying, how are they affecting you going forward in a good or a bad way? Yeah. Personal development work, it's like training the muscle, the mind muscle, to keep moving, keep growing. And obviously this, like Tony said, these videos are a lot about what we're experiencing ourselves and what we're going through and helping us. And I think we will talk about self first, help self first, and then other second. By doing these videos, yes, we're providing a lot of value, but we're actually helping ourselves a lot.
Yeah, put the mask on first.
Think about family situations and friend situations that you've gone through. Can you think of the struggles that you've had over the past year or so? How has these sessions actually helped you?
Oh, it's been incredibly helpful, right? It's been incredibly helpful, but not only has this session been helpful directly, but then it's also the connections that you make through this session.
Yeah.
So you and I become great mates, and you certainly were there as a shoulder to cry on when I needed it earlier this year, and and others have reached out to me as well, and Tony Gallagher, made a lovely comment just before, and it's all the connections. So it's not just this event. Whilst this event every Sunday morning is so powerful, it's also a little bit about creating the discipline of fronting up every Sunday morning, just like you do with your running and your sit-ups now. So there's that piece, but it's also the broader connections and just creating a community of like-minded people so that we can all lift each other up. So I love it, absolutely love it. The other thing about be careful what you say to yourself is that it's all around the beliefs. So we don't have the ability to see inside people's mind, but it's the words that people say that give us an indication as to what's truly going on. So consciously people might go, yeah, whatever, but the words that come out are a true indication of do they truly believe it or do they not. When I hear words such as if, maybe, perhaps, etc., that doesn't show...
Or even can't.
Can't. And all that's exactly right. Shouldn't. That doesn't demonstrate to me...
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Correct. Strong conviction, strong belief. And so, in the job that I do, that's what I'm looking for. I'm always looking for those types of words because it's about then drilling in and really understanding, do you truly believe that you can make it happen? But
terminology is really strong, and we emphasise this on an ongoing basis. I know Gary Vee talks about, I say the same shit all the time, and we often do say the same thing, but something might relate to you today that didn't relate to you 3 months ago or 6 months ago. Maybe you're ready for that information. Maybe you're thinking about the advice that you are actually giving. Maybe that you can be a little bit more considerate, and we can all. I'm often giving advice to people about wealth creation and just getting started, and fairly blunt in my approach. But not being blunt sometimes may not have a realization for people. So maybe I push them to a degree right now, but that might mean that they get started in 3 months and not 3 years.
Correct.
And that could be another factor. Okay, maybe we are giving advice sometimes. Maybe we are being a little, we need to be a little bit respectful and considerate and so forth.
Yeah.
But sometimes we also need to kick up the arse. What do you reckon, Tony,
No,
about that?
of course we do. And it's about, we're not always open to receiving it. And so I know for myself, so people may say things to me. It's not like every time someone says something to me, it's like instantaneously I go, yep, that's, it takes time. And it takes time, and perhaps I'm not ready to hear that information. And so, like you said, people repetitively say it in different ways, and there might be a time, a month, 2, 3 down the track, where it's like, you know what, I now understand what it was that Luke was saying, or someone else was saying, or my wife was saying. I'm now ready to receive it. We're not always as open as we can be, and that happens to me on quite a number of occasions where, I haven't been ready to receive something, but down the track, I might have heard it the second or third time, and it's like, you know what? I get it. I get what that
Tony's
person was
never ready to receive my ideas anyway, because they're so out there.
No, that's not true. That's not true. I'm open to receiving a lot of your ideas, but there's some, mate, that are just way out there.
I look at the background that we have it here, and the clouds aren't moving. We kind of look like we're in a movie set or something. So it's quite amazing, just to talk up Queensland a little bit for Queensland tourism.
You keep going. You keep going, mate. I'm loving what you're saying right about now. I'm open to hearing more of this right about now. Love Queensland.
Mark says when giving coaching, ask questions so clients can find their answers. Yes, I think it's a big one. Mark, I will say that on top of that, and Tony might be able to help in this regards, sometimes people don't know where they're at as well. You kind of need to prod them or provide suggestions for them to get out of their rut, to get out of their own issues. Headspace. So I think questions, yes, can be powerful, but if people don't know the answers or haven't explored that in the past, how can they evaluate anything that's really going on? So that's going to be a tough one for people. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And the art of coaching is questions and listening. I know I talk a lot publicly, but from a coaching perspective, I do listen. I do ask plenty of questions. But I agree with Luke, Mark, that on occasion you do need just little prompters, little seeds, just to get people going. Once people get started, then potentially they're up and away.
The juices flow.
Yeah, correct. But quite often people will be stuck. And so you just got to give them a little bit of an encouragement, a little pat on the back, and then get some momentum.
Is it kind of give them option A, B, and C?
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. You got
so there could be an
multi-choice. Absolutely, I love it.
Powerful questions are important as well. We agree with that, Mark. Peter says, beautiful day, boys.
Course it is.
Absolutely.
It's Queensland, Peter. It's Queensland.
That's a little prod towards me, just so you know, everyone. I think we're sponsored by Queensland Tourism, aren't we?
We sure are sponsored by Queensland Tourism.
Maybe after Lara Bingle, it's like us, right?
No, she's so yesteryear. So,
right.
And you know what? We've got the home of the AFL, the home of the mighty Brisbane Lions. Here we go. Very
Melbourne
excited.
Storm are up here as well, but we won't talk about them because Parramatta lost last night. No good. Greg says, I was just typing the word try and had to delete it.
Nice. There you go.
Greg, shame on you, mate, for thinking that way.
No. Good on him because he's recognised it, right? So good on him.
No, but he might have said it when we were saying that word, when we were saying about it.
Yeah,
so,
but it's caught him, right? And so
but
now
the
it's
good thing
to his
the good thing
awareness.
is he's actually put it out there and been vulnerable about it, which is good. So I know I am a bit strong on that one, Greg, but I think the great thing about it is you still put it out there. You're still vulnerable enough to us to then criticise. Well, at least for me to criticise. Tony.
I'm supportive, mate. I'm with you. I think it's wonderful that you've recognised it, right? And it's about recognising all these things, recognising that when you go to say the word try, or recognising when you go and type the word try, and to catch yourself. So good on you, mate. Keep
Stephen
going.
says, crikey, will Luke ever be back in New South Wales? At this rate, he might get the Maroons gig in State of Origin as 18th man.
Absolutely, Stephen. Well, in fact, I said to him, because he's just gone and done his 1,000th run in a row just the other week. What he's now going for is 1,000 nights staying in Queensland in a row. Sorry to say that to you, Catherine, but that's what's happened. How am I feeling?
How are you feeling after your 7Ks? Have you done one yet?
No, not another 7K. No, I've been running. So I've been running about 4. I ran 4 yesterday afternoon. So no, I'm not running 7, mate. But I ran that for you. I was delighted. How did I feel afterwards?
I ran that for you.
How did I feel? No, I did, truly.
Yeah.
How did I feel afterwards? Mate, I was bugging. I was bugging. I've got myself this new little massage gun, and my golly, it got a workout for the 2 or 3 days after that run. Okay.
Chris reckons great questions lead to great discussions. Absolutely.
Well, also, so great questions. So if you want a better answer, ask a better question. You know what I mean? Like quite often we ask the wrong questions, particularly of ourselves, and we get the wrong answers. We need to ask better questions of ourselves. And I always say you want to ask questions in a forward-facing perspective. So rather than, why did this thing go wrong or why is this a problem, instead of that, it's what can I do to solve it? How do I fix this? How do I move forward?
Absolutely.
Yeah? You're sitting with that, are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm just sitting.
Just soaking in that, bathing in that. What else have we got? Peter Trong saying Everett boys, and Chris is saying Broncos. You're not talking about the Broncos, Chris.
Terrible.
I'm not a Broncos fan.
Wooden spooners.
Anyway, so yeah. Oh, they're dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. So no, I'm actually a North Sydney fan.
The Bears.
So the mighty Bears. So mate, I don't have an NRL team that I follow, which is very peaceful actually. So. I just get to watch every game, good quality football.
Good to have you on, Jeff. We've been talking today about the advice that you give to others. Is it actually advice that you really want to give to yourself? We spoke about earlier how to approach conversations with other people, being mindful about what they're going through and whether they're actually reaching out or you're just loading up advice on them, more for your benefit than theirs. Just to, some people give advice so they're in a position to be right as well. So that can be a factor. Prove to other people that they're right.
Prove
that probably can
what they know. What they know. Prove their knowledge. Prove that I'm smarter
superior
than you. Correct.
Power,
Yeah,
a power sort of situation.
It's ego, right? That's what it boils
and maybe
down to.
at certain times that it does come up for me as well, and it's something that I have to have awareness around not have to have awareness around. Something that I have awareness about for myself as well.
Yeah, but I would say with that, right? So you have heaps and heaps of investment properties. Don't suppress the fact that you have got X number of properties. You've done that because you know plenty of stuff and you've been able to learn along the way. So I would encourage you to be incredibly proud about that fact, and then be very comfortable in sharing with others. This is what I've gone and done, because you've got the runs on the board. I think where the issue is where people provide advice and they don't have the runs on the board. Does that make sense? And so for you, you've got the runs on the board. So mate, go berserk with it, quite frankly, because it's you've been there, you've done it, you've gone through the trials, the tribulations, and you should be enormously proud of what it is that you've done. And all of us have something that we've been able to do. So I'm very happy for people to share advice on things that they've done. The issue becomes when you get a lot of armchair critics when they've not even done it, right? And they're sitting up in the bleachers providing advice. Like, just so we sit here and say it's a beautiful day here in Queensland, I'm very concerned because now it's incredibly dark over here.
Well, they don't see it, so we shouldn't even bring it up.
I can see the cloud's starting to come over the top now.
Yeah. Mark says your language has neurological transmitters and leads you to actions or inactions.
Or in actions you take, yeah.
In actions you take. Language is so powerful. Boys, watch the Playbook on Netflix. Okay, that's an interesting one. Maybe I'll tune into that.
Yeah,
so thank you
that's
so much, Mark.
Well, that's NLP, right? So, so the L in NLP is linguistic, which is language. So that's what it's all about. Tony touched on that before, and that's why we talk about what we do. And Mark, it's exactly that. It's I'm looking for the language of the clients that I deal with or people that I speak to, because that will then provide me with an insight into what's truly going on inside of their mind, those
Mark,
words that we talk about.
I don't know if you saw a video that there was a couple of guys doing the haka on a video I posted on social media the other day.
Yeah, I did.
Mark was one of them.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, so it was at a Tony Robbins event, Date with Destiny, a couple of years back.
Yeah, great.
Mark Bishop and a few others that were doing the haka. It was so powerful. Like, it's just incredible.
It was very, very powerful. I did see Mark at last year's Unleash the Power Within. So Mark was on stage playing Simon Says. So Mark did. Mark won it. Yeah, Mark won Simon Says.
I think he's won it like 20 times.
Fantastic.
I think that's what he goes for.
Hey?
I'll be interested to find out.
He spends his year practicing. Hey, practicing Simon Says.